Welcome everyone to the 2025 Women's 8-Ball World Championship, brought to you from ONEIDA Casino and Hotel, sponsored and presenting sponsors of Olhausen Billiards and Pechauer. Of course, this is a WPA ranked event. This is the first round matchup. We've got quite a few rounds of matchups, first round matchups, because there are 64 ladies and we have 8 tables. So quite a few starting rounds today. This one is Tram, Bich, Nguyen versus Alara, Ghaffari. So hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Lonnie Fox Raymond. I'm gonna be here in the booth for this matchup so everyone at home can watch. All right, not the best starting shot there by Alara. Bich is coming to the table. Had some good matches on the feature tables. This is table number 2. If you're wanting to follow along, you can go to digitalpool.com and search ONEIDA WPA Women's World 8-Ball Championships. You can see all the live scores going on throughout the room. All right. Didn't quite get things moving the way she would have preferred. Looks as though she's going to be either stretching to shoot the 14 ball. She may be able to play the 11, but she's going to have to catch some windows if she opts to do that. I don't know. I don't have a side view at the moment on this particular set, so I won't be able to tell you if she can cut this 10 into the left-hand side pocket. She looks as though she's looking at it. All right, so these ladies, I do believe they're on a mandatory 40-second shot clock with 1 extension per rack. It's not a digital clock. It's just done by the referee. There's a referee assigned to the table. He'll be racking. We are using the Taom template rack. It is the official rack of the World 8-Ball Championships. Thank you to them for supporting. Oh, I didn't see the 12 there. I wish I had seen that. I didn't see it. Or the 14, I apologize. Really, with the Black Series, the Aramith Black Series balls, that's what we're using. We don't use the stripes very often, except for the 9 and the 10. And so when it gets to these other striped balls, they're a little more difficult for me to call. All right, nice shot there. I don't know if she can just roll this in and take more of a steep cut on the 14, or she can cross. All right. Oh, yeah. See, she caught that a little fatter than she intended. And then, of course, it caught the points and bobbled in the pocket. This is our first real look at Alara. I do believe she's a younger player. I think I saw her come into practice with her family. I'm not familiar with Alara, but... All right, so she came in a little hot off that second rail. Should be okay. She can just roll the 2 in. She needs a little angle on the 1 anyway. Just like that. Not a lot of problems here, but the 5 does have to... She's going to have to slide past the 5. She may opt to try to get on it right now. All right, well played. Nice follow through there by Alara. Looks as though Laura is a Predator sponsored player. I don't have any bio sheets on these ladies, so I apologize. I don't have all the details. Just kind of got to watch the jerseys, same as you guys at home. But I can see there on her jersey that she is sponsored by Predator. All right, so she's trying to hurry. Looks as though she may be going for her extension. I do think she should probably shoot the 5 now. Just maybe play it with a slight stop, maybe even a little draw. A couple inches, doesn't have to be anything crazy. Yep, just like that. She just doesn't want to fall too straight. That's why drawing it made it a little bit more difficult because of the placement of the 7. Now, guys, make sure you're familiar and that you know what's going on. We've got 4 tables being streamed, 2 with commentary. I think my counterpart, Stephen Wyatt, is on the other streaming table for the World Championships. That is table number 1 on your digital pool bracket. And then I am on table number 2 at the moment. I'll be hopping back and forth, but primarily I'll probably stick around to table number 2. Just because this is where my set is in my computer, so I'm comfortable in my little booth. But I will be hopping over to table 1 periodically throughout the event. Oh, and she lost the white. I'm not sure if that classified as a loss or just ball in hand. Okay, I'm still learning the WPA rules for this event. All right, so it looks like because if she had made the 8, it would have been a loss. But because she didn't make the 8, all right, Drum will come to the table with ball in hand. Now, I'm an 8-ball player, so sometimes I see patterns a little differently than some of the girls that are less familiar with 8-ball. I think she was leaving the 10-ball for last because it's the ball closest to the 8, but I don't know that she necessarily needed to do that. Okay, so she's decided to pocket it. Yeah. All right, and this is a little tricky, but being that most of these ladies play a lot of 9-ball, I don't see her having a problem. She'll put draw on it and try to get back out towards the center of the table. Oh, she played high ball. Caught it fat. That's wild. Good shot. Well played. I didn't think she had that side of the ball to use. Fantastic. This is where having only one view can be slightly treacherous. All right, there you have it, folks. Tram is taken Rec 1 here at the ONEIDA Women's 8-Ball World Championships. Let's see what's going on around the room real quick while the referee is racking. It looks like Maria, we call her Maite Ropero, is up 6-2 over Annalita Kanyaya. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I apologize if it's wrong. Pia Filler is up 5-4 in a tight battle against Canadian Naomi Williams. Caroline Kapau is up 6-4 over Sakura Miramatsu. Having a good match there. Heron Lee is just getting started with Wei Su Chen on our featured table. And then Savannah Easton is up 2-0 over the Tsunami Susan Williams. Kennedy Myman just got started versus Claudia Van Raar. Kennedy's up 1-0. Christina Zlateva is up 1-0 over Mina Tani. So those are the matches going on in the room at the moment. Waiting on a couple to finish because we had a couple that were behind. Mine being one of them, which probably had a trigger, like a downfall effect. All right, so she used the head ball break. Guys, I know a lot of you guys are watching it, fans at home, you enjoy your 8-ball in your league play and things like that, so you guys know the difference between the head ball and the second ball break, which the 8-ball does not count on the break as a win at the World Championships, but you guys do know that the second ball break does typically help the 8-ball get moved around a little in the pack, although with the templates, I don't know that that's necessarily true. All right, good starting shot. Let's see if Alara can work this rack out. She was very close to winning that first rack and made a grave error on the 8-ball. All right, coming one rail back out. Was trying to shoot the 3 in the same pocket. Came up a little short on that. She may have to opt for a much more difficult shot, maybe cutting the 1 into the side if she can see it, or shooting the 2, taking a much more difficult cut shot on the 2. Yeah, undercut that ball just a tad. Little first round jitters going on maybe for Alara. Thank you for watching. You're watching WPBA Billiards on YouTube. If you're watching on Amazon Prime or Billiard TV, and you want to be part of our chat family, you can come on over to WPBA Billiards on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, and then you can jump in our chats. Communicate with all the other WPBA fans. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the support. So it looks as though she also came a little short in that stroke. Now if the 12 goes past the 1, she's doing all right. And it does. Well played. So I don't know if you guys have noticed it or if you've been paying attention. These are Olhausen 9-foot tables. So these are the new Tournament Pro Series. Olhausen has been building pool tables and games for family rooms, etc., and professional women's pool throughout the years for over 50 years of, they've got 50 years of experience. This table specifically has 26 points of precision leveling. It has got AccuFast cushions, which are proven in our industry. This table itself was based loosely on the Olhausen Sheridan 3 table design. It's got the really cool super flush pockets, which you guys can see there. And it's also the standard WPA 4.5-inch pocket. So it's pretty cool. Kenny from Olhausen wanted me to make sure everyone knew that Kenny designed this table from Olhausen. And Dan Borzay, we are so grateful for him and his support of women's pool. And he and his team and the Pechauer team wasted zero time jumping on board to help us produce this WPBA WPA World Championship. All right, so Drum's making good, quick movement of this rack. It looks like she can just roll this ball in. She could even stun it if she wanted to, but she wants to make sure if she does that, she hits it fat. If she just wants to roll it in, she can just lightly roll her in. So she stunned it. Great shot by Vic. I like that. I like the stunning it too, because then you can't decelerate or lose it or hit the ball too thin. Well played. All right, there you have it. So the score should be 2-0 in favor of Drum Bich. I think it's Bich Win, but well, sometimes with digital pool, their names get all just messed up. You know, and just speaking of Olhausen, too, he has been sponsoring Lori John since she was 14 years old. Today, they sponsor players the likes of April Larson, Christina Zlateva, Kennedy Myman, Jordan Helfrey, Sophia Mast, Ashley Benoit, and Caroline Powell. This is a family-owned and American-made pool table, folks. If you're looking for something that you would enjoy in your home, maybe you own a pool room, reach out to Dan Borzay. He will make things happen for you. Just become part of the Olhausen family. They're great products. All right, we're going to watch Alara break. She's also breaking head ball. Maybe crossing over the rack a slight bit. She does make a ball, though. They're going to remove the Taom template rack. This one's a little tough because the pink stripe definitely only goes in two pockets, maybe if they move the 11 ball, but she's looking at should she take the stripes or the solids simply because I don't think she can take the two first. So although I like the black series of balls, it definitely takes some getting used to when you're not familiar with their stripes. All right, so it looks like she's good here. The 12 does go past. Obviously, now with the bump, it goes. She has a couple different options as well. I don't know if she can see that. She must not be able to see all of the 9 to pocket it, but now she can. She's rolled that ball in. Well played. She could try, if she wanted to get under. Shoot that stripe that's on top of, I think it's a 14. She tried to break it out. So sometimes I think you have to be mindful of which pocket those balls go in, right? So if that ball happens to go in this bottom right-hand corner pocket, she didn't need to break it out. She just needed to play good position to it from that ball in the side pocket. Now she's got herself in a little bit of a spot. She can play the 12. I just hate leaving balls that are tied up for last. That could be the kiss of death in 8-ball. All right, we'll see what she opts to do here. I do believe that's a 14 ball. And I stood up to look out the window. Okay, so the 14 does go in the bottom right-hand corner. The problem is I don't know if she's got too much angle now. She may have to play bumping into it, but if she plays a light bump, she chose to swing at it. Had she rolled that ball in and played a light bump, the push off the 2 would have probably left her sitting well on the 14. So now she's given back a decent enough rack. Bich Drum is going to have to figure out how to get on the blue 2. That ball may also go in this bottom right-hand corner pocket. So if she comes up a little funny and she opts not to try to break it out, she may be able to get there right now. Just with a forced follow. Yep, she's looking at it. Nice play. Sometimes hitting the balls and bumping them isn't always the best option. I like the fact that she's playing to get underneath it. Not exactly the best position because she does have to be mindful of the pink stripe there at the bottom of the table, just in case she bumps it. But if she plays this with a high inside, which would be left-hand English on this particular shot, if she plays this, she may be able to thread the needle and come between the 12 and the 14 and not touch anything. Just like that. She played it well. Nice. Well played. Like that shot. So pretty cool. We've got the Olhausen tables. We have the Taom template rack as the official rack sponsor. Pechauer is the presenting sponsor. We also have all of the lights in the room are Littman lights. So thank you. Kudos to Littman for becoming part of the World Championship team. We appreciate them. Which I know you guys are all familiar with Littman lights. They have some of the best lights in the industry for sure. And of course, Aramith and Simonis for our cloth and balls. Oh, all right. So wiped its feet a little bit. Sitting real nice here. Now this is preferential. She could stun it up table for the 8 in the lower left, or she can follow it one rail back out. All right, so she stunned it over. Great shot. All right. Big Drum takes game 3. Score is 3-0 over Alara Ghaffari. See what's going on around the room, folks. Pia Filler and Naomi Williams are in a battle, 5-5 in this race to 7 8-ball. Wei Su Chen is 2-1 quickly over Heron Lee. And of course, our feature match on table 2. Savannah Easton and Susan Williams are playing on table 3 right now. 3 to zip at the moment. Amber Chen, Chiahua Chen is just getting started with Sarah Roca. Tina Larson and Sophia Mast also just getting started. Kennedy Myman up 2-0 over Claudia Van Raar. Christina Zlateva 2-0 over Mina Tani. Those are the other matches going on in the moment. All right, so one big drum to break. And the 10 ball does find the back of a pocket. Just like some options here. Looks like the 10 and 11 are a little funky, but if she cuts the 14, she could possibly break those out. Nothing is tied up shooting the solid, so she's going after the 1. The best thing about 8-ball, there's a million different ways to get out. So I do want to say there's only commentary on the tables 1 and 2. Initially, we were just going to produce 2 feature tables. We have a production team working, of course, myself, Stephen Wyatt, Mark White will be on the team tomorrow, Kyle Ferguson, and Sean Denny, the Ginger Wizard, as I call him. We are all working on commentary, on the commentary part of the event, but we only have so many of us and only a few of us on site. So we did decide to set up a couple extra cameras and streams tables 3 and 4 just for a bonus for our fans at home that maybe might catch some of their favorite players playing on the sidelines. Unfortunately, there's no commentary on those tables. Those are just bonus coverage, but there is a scoreboard. So you'll be able to see and keep score with the players, and it's just like I said, it's unfortunate there's no commentary on 3 and 4, but we definitely worked our butt off to get you full commentary on tables 1 and 2. And if any of you guys follow us here at the WPBA, we typically only stream our feature tables. So it is really nice to produce an event and have multiple tables being streamed to the masses. So please enjoy. Thank you. If you're interested, you can always donate to our stream as well through our YouTube Super Chats. You can also donate at WPBA.com. We appreciate all of the support there. You can also go to Xpool and donate to them as well. They are producing the entirety of this event for us. I'm just doing comms. I'm just working with the Xpool team. So super big shout out to them. Putting all this extra effort in for us to have all these great streams. I know there is a little flicker going on. I promise you, they're working on that. All right, so she needs to decide here how she's going to catch the window getting back to... I think that's a 12 ball. I don't know. That's not the 12. The purple, the purple stripe. I'm lost at this point, you guys. The 14. I think it's the 14. All right, so she got back across table, kept herself in the window of the 15. Well played. I do think Alara is a younger player. I'm not super familiar with her. I think I've seen her play in one other event in the last year. So I think she's getting some seasoning and getting some time in under her belt. I would say that the American junior players are very blessed because we have such a good support system, and we've brought them in and given them so much seasoning to make them so competitive at an international level. We're pretty lucky in that regard, although we, don't always have, coaches and federations as some of the international players. We are very blessed to give so much support to our junior programs and our junior players, and then players like Kennedy Myman, who started in the junior program, is now all the way up playing professionally at a very high level. She's no longer a junior either. She's on her last year of being eligible for those events. All right, so Alara once again runs all the way down towards the last few balls. And doesn't quite finish the rack, giving Big Drum an opportunity to just put in a bigger gap in the score line. So this is pretty exciting today. We've got to do I got to do an interview for NBC here at this event. That was really cool. I'm not really one of those that likes to be in front of the camera. I prefer to be behind it, but it was really cool to do that. So if you're in the Green Bay area, go to your local NBC channel and find my interview for me and send it to me. I don't know that they've even done their piece on it yet, but if you're in the Green Bay area and you have access to NBC, make sure you guys send me that, right? All right, well played. Vic, really, really working hard here. Making sure to keep the gas pedal pressed down. There you have it, folks. 4-0 in favor of Bich Tram Nguyen. Very solid Vietnamese player, I do believe. If those of you guys are new and you haven't been, please take just a second to share the stream for me. I did try to edit the title of this, but I didn't want it to split the stream, so I think it's still titled wrong. Very nice break. No, it was dry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was dry. Very good opportunity here for Vic. I think she's sitting in a good situation here. Alright, so she did jump up off that ball pretty quickly, but she's sitting well. She's gonna one rail this probably back out. She can try to get it past the purple 5, which I think is probably better because then she doesn't take any shot to understroke it. If she wants to, she can always go one rail back out and accept a little bit more angle on the 14 ball in the side, but I liked her going past. She doesn't want to overhit it. I think she's okay. I think she's perfectly fine. The 7 ball will stop her regardless. As long as she doesn't come up underneath it. She should be able to just stun it right there. Yeah, great shot. Shouldn't even mess with the 7 ball. Very well played. All right, there you have it, folks. Score. Changing as we speak, should be 5-0 over Alara Ghaffari. She did change it. Let's check out what's going on around the room. Pia Filler, 6-5 on the hill over Naomi Williams, the Canadian champion. Wei Su Chen taking a 3, possibly 4-1 lead over Heron Lee. I just heard the crowd. Savannah Easton is up 4-0 on our feature bonus table number 3 over Susan Williams. So she's doing well. Amber Chen, or Chiahua Chen, she's up 1-0 over Sarah Roca on the bonus table number 4. Sophia Mast is up 1-0 over Tina Larson. Kennedy Myman 2-1 over Claudia Von Rohr. Christina Zlateva 3-0 over Mina Tani. That's what's happening around the room, folks. This is one of the biggest events of the year in ladies pool. This is the very first ONEIDA Women's 8-Ball World Championships. This is sponsored and hosted by ONEIDA Casino and Hotel. Has been presented by Olhausen and Pechauer Custom Cues. This is a WPA ranked event produced by the WPBA. Thank you for watching. There are 64 of the world's best players, female players in the world, all in the room. I actually just did an interview. I was doing this interview on NBC, and I remember saying that we're so fierce at the table, like we want to duke it out, you know, we're so competitive. And then afterwards, we're like, hey, do you want to go to dinner? We're just, you know, it's like we're fierce competitors at the table, but we're friends away from the table. And I think that says a lot about the women involved in our sport right now and how big it is, how much it has grown, and how much recognition they truly deserve. Some of the best in the business right here. With their fans, with their sponsors. We're in a good place in pool right now. All right, so she's looking. She's trying to decide, does she play the... Is she going to try to sneak that past the 14, or is she going to play it behind the 14? Oh, she could see the 14. I'm so sorry, folks. I didn't realize that she had the stripes there. I'm doing some tech work in between watching the match. All right, well played. Sitting pretty good here. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of trouble. Maybe just the 10 to the 9. Because the 10 is really pocket specific. Oh, she does miss the pink. She's given Alara an opportunity. Alara really needs to buckle down and finish one of these racks. She's had opportunities in almost every single rack. And really on her, she's just not been able to hold serve. So she needs to get something started here. Obviously, the 5-3 are an issue here at the bottom of the table of your view. They look pretty pocket specific. All right, so she's going to land really good on this 3, 3, 5. Even if she pushes it a little bit, she should be okay. As long as she doesn't push it in front of the 9 ball. She could... Oh, man, that's tough. If she chooses to cut the 5... Yeah, no. If she doesn't hit it at all, that'd be great. If she could just draw back and not touch the 5 at all, that would be awesome. So she does bump it, but she doesn't want it to push in front of the 9. That's what I was afraid of. She knows it. You can see that she may be getting a little frustrated with her inability to finish the rack. So all of this seeding in this tournament was done by world rankings. So 1 through 32 are seeded, and then the rest of us play into those ladies. So it's done by world rankings. So like Christina Tacont, she's number 1. She's seated in number 1. Typically, 64 would play into number 1, right? But because 32 through 64, or 33 through 64 don't have, they're not technically being ranked, right? Because they're not seated. They just draw in. And actually, we had a really cool, fun draw on our Facebook. You could go back and see where Jerry Stuckert, our tournament director and board member here for the WPBA, went in and did some really fun stuff with our sponsors and a couple of the other players, and had them draw the seating. So, pretty cool. All right, so Bich comes to the table once again with a bit of an opportunity where I'm sure Alara feels as though she probably should have gotten the rack closed out. That's all right. Every lesson is a lesson, right? All right, so here's something that could be interesting. She's likely, if she cuts this 12 into the side pocket, she's likely to bump the 2. She's got to slide past it, not push it in front of the 11, which she's managed to get around it. But because she didn't bump it at all, I think she actually meant to just skim the edge of the 2, which would have slowed the cue ball down drastically, right? But instead, she goes all the way around it and has to cut it so thin that the cue ball had a ton of pace on it. Now, she could be offensive here because she is up by 5 games. But I like that she's going to go ahead and just kind of try to play that containing safety. Very smart shot. Very well played. Alara may have... Alara may actually have a small problem. Because if she does thin that 2 ball, there's a chance the cue ball could find the side pocket. I don't know if she can hit it thick enough to avoid it or thin enough to get past it, but we'll see what Alara decides to do here. In some of these cases, things are inevitable. It's just not fun to have to kick at a ball that you can see. All right, so at least she does push the 8 down table, making this a much more difficult play on position from the 11 to the 8. Now, I'm wondering if Bick can cut this to the top right and swing the cue ball around, but even still, she'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 rails. Too difficult. All right, Alara, this is a shot that I practice regularly, and it's a speed shot, right? You practice it in a couple different ways. You practice rolling it, getting the cue to the end rail, and you can even go as far back as to the corner where she's standing and practice it from that distance. Learning how to play the speed to where you can keep the cue ball underneath and tight to that short rail. All right, so this is tough. Bick may opt to just play a safety. She could maybe just roll up on the 8. Oh, she played it off the 2, but she's got to swing that cue ball around. Is she going to get there? Wow. Snaps. That's about as good as she could have hit it. How well did she play that? Great shot. Wow. She's cutting it in. She's called it in the lower right hand. Oh. She wiped his feet a little bit. If it sure did get there, Bick Drum is sitting 6-0 on the hill over Alara Ghaffari. See what else is going on in the room. Wei Su Chen is putting on a little clinic on Heron Lee. 5-1 at the moment on our feature table number 1. Savannah Easton is also 5-0 over Susan Williams, the Tsunami. Amber Chen is 2-0 over Sarah Roca. Kelly Fisher and Angela Janik are getting ready to start right now. Sophia Mast and Tina Larson are sitting at 1-0 still. I'm not sure if they're in a safety battle or what's going on there. They've been stuck there for a minute. Kennedy Myman 3-1 over Claudia Van Roar. Christina Zlateva 4-0 over Mina Tani. These are race to 7s, ladies and gentlemen. First round matchups here at the ONEIDA Women's 8-Ball World Championships. Okay, and the 3 finds a pocket. The pink 4 is in a bad spot there, as well as the brown 7 here at the bottom of your screen. I would say that stripes would be a better option, as long as she can find a breakout early. She wants to break out that pink stripe right away, so let's see what she comes up with. She may be able to stop shot this. That might leave her the angle she needs. She could play the 10. I don't know that she can push through that purple 5. That's tough. Okay, so here she's going to go ahead and play the 10. Now, she's got to play this with a lot of low and even maybe some outside. Great play. Great shot by Alara. All right, now everything's open. If Alara can just commit to position, work out the rack, 1 ball at a time. 8-ball is really simple. You can change your mind. Sometimes you got to use plan A. Sometimes you have to get all the way to plan D. But it can be done. Looks like she's she just maybe undershooting a few shots. When she's at that point where she should be really digging in, she's just undershooting a little bit. All right, so the 14 seems to be her only real offensive ball. All right, so she overcut that. She got away with it, though, and she did manage to even tie up the 4, maybe a little tougher than it was before. So Bick's going to come to the table. She may go. Bick can be a pretty offensive player at times. She's been playing pretty regularly on the WPBA, so we're getting to see her play a lot more. She could possibly cut the blue 2 to the top left and come 2 rails out and try to kick that ball out of there. Not sure exactly what she intends to do, but she could back cut it, but I don't like that as much. There's just no breakout option. Sorry, guys. The Ginger Wizard, one of the producers from X-Pool, just popped into the booth and was chatting with me, trying to snag him into bringing me something to drink. All right. All right, so she's got to come with a nice shot here on the 1. She's playing it with a high, maybe even a high right. Try to get across table for the pink 4. I just don't. Her only real option may be to kick behind it and kick it to the top left-hand corner pocket. I don't know if that's... She doesn't have a lot she can do here. There's not even legitimately a great safety play here. All right, so good effort. About as good as she was going to get. That was a really well-played shot by Bich. And to be fair, Alara's a little bit maybe just, I don't want to say disgruntled, but, you know, a little out of her element. She's not feeling it, whatever's happening. So, safety play. All right, safety play back. Nice tap. Actually, that's a great shot because she kicks the 14 off the rail. Now it goes much easier in multiple pockets. All right, so open table for Alara. She could really use this rack right here. If she can just get through these 5 balls, right? Give herself a little bit of confidence, get herself on the board. It might bring her something that, you know, a good feeling. You know how it is when you're struggling a little in a match and you feel like you've given a lot of racks away. Just one nice little out makes you feel so much better about yourself and about your skill. Although these ladies are top in the world at their sport, we do all still have, you know, things between our ears that sometimes cause us chaos. That's one thing I like to tell people, right? That we're not always perfect. That's the hard part. Even though you're the top of your sport, perfection is difficult to achieve no matter what. So she has laid that ball right in the pocket once again. So close to closing out a rack. All right, there you have it, folks. This 8 ball to close out the set. Take an 8-0, a 7-0 win going into the second round. Well done. And there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this match, Bich Nguyen versus Alara Ghaffari. No worries, Alara is still in this event. She is not going to be knocked out. She's just going to have to take the scenic route. Let's talk about that real quick. Let's see where. All right, so Vic will be playing the winner between Wei Su Chen and Harry Lee next round. And Alara is going to go to tomorrow. Looks like she'll be playing tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So, oh, wait, is that tomorrow? It is tomorrow. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our match for this feature, for this round. And am I correct in saying that I think this is going to be the last round of the evening? I do believe it is. That's the last round of the evening. We do have, is that correct? Yeah, sure is. All right, so we do have some other matches going on around the room if you want to go check that out. On our feature table number 1, that one is also on our YouTube. Wei Su Chen is up 5-2 in a race to 7 over Heron Lee, if you want to go check that out. On table 3, which is our side bonus table, we do not have any commentary attached to it, but Savannah Easton is up 5-0 over Susan Williams. And then table 4 is Amber Chen and Sarah Roca. And that match just got started, so it's 2-1 in favor of Amber Chen at the moment. So you guys make sure you go check that out. Christina Zlateva's up 5-0 over Mina Tani at the moment. Kennedy Myman and Claudia Van Rohr are up 3-2. Kennedy's favor. Sophia Mast still sitting 1-0 over Tina Larson. I'm not sure if maybe they're not scoring their tablets properly. And then Kelly Fisher and Angela Janik just got started. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be back tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Our feature table is going to be Brittany Bryant and Margarita Fefalova Steyer. That's going to be table 1 feature. Our table 2 feature, which is right here, is going to be, we call her Pearl Chiang, but it's Qing Chiang Shui. Versus Wang Wanling. So that's going to be our table 2 feature matchup. Table 3 is going to be April Larson and Cheska Centeno. Table 4 is going to be actually myself versus Anna Gradznik. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So those are some of the feature matchups tomorrow on the stream starting at 10 a.m. Folks, go to one of the other channels, watch the matches. We'll see you guys soon. My name is Lonnie Fox Raymond, and you are watching WPBA Billiards on YouTube. This is the ONEIDA Women's 8-Ball World Championship.